the 126, that's right, 126 episode of Film Banter. It's amazing, Chris.
We made it to 126. We made it to
We've done an
125.
awful lot of shows.
Pretty
It's
soon we'll be at
incredible.
130.
Okay, well,
It's good
perhaps
to see you as usual,
perhaps some restaurant banter now.
if you want to.
And see, as you can see, the lettering on the bottom, ladies and gentlemen, restaurant
Yes.
banter.
Yeah,
This
you
is where
folks
we
know by
banter
now.
about the restaurant that we ate at tonight.
You know that we go to a different place every week.
This is true.
We have a whole roster of places we usually go to, and
We do.
tonight we went to somewhere we
We have
both
about
haven't been
15.
to.
We have about 15
Roughly.
restaurants.
Yeah, so we
And we
went
cycle
to
and
cycle
we
through them.
recycle.
And we went to one tonight that we haven't been to on a Tuesday night. I don't think
Correct.
you've ever been there.
I've never been there.
It's Brady's Trackside Inn. Well, I don't know if that's the official
Trackside
name.
Inn?
I think it's called Brady's on the Track, something like
Brady's.
that. It's in
Okay.
Ramsey, New Jersey, on Main Street.
Ramsey, New Jersey.
It's an Irish pub, but it's got a pretty diverse menu of the usual stuff you'd see on most restaurant menus: pasta,
usual
chicken, burgers, all that stuff. I know, I enjoyed it. I had chicken and broccoli. You had a nice chicken
I had a
franchise.
Chicken franchise. That
You
was
enjoyed it?
very tasty.
Yeah, it was good.
Not enough pasta for me. I would have preferred a little bit more fettuccine to go along with it, but
Oh, so instead of linguine,
c'est la vie. And then we went over to Joey's espresso place.
that was good. I forget the name of the place, but it was good.
Yeah, Joey's.
Yeah, really good down the street.
And it's a gelato place, so
was very good.
I had a very fine strawberry gelato
Yes,
cone
and I had
for
a cone
$5.75.
of pistachio.
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, talk about being pistachioed.
Yeah.
$5.75.
It's a lot.
For a damn cone.
I know, it's a
a
lot.
lot of bucks.
And it's
a lot
not
of
even
money.
large. That was the small.
No,
right?
that was a bullshit little size.
Well, that was pretty good.
I got two scoops.
So did I. So I
know.
guess that was a medium. I don't know what size that was.
I think it was a small.
Well, the large must be like 6 scoops. Immense. Too much to deal with. Mine was
They
melting.
wouldn't give you 6 scoops. Mine was melting on the way home.
Me too.
It was running down my
You
chin.
know how hard it is to negotiate sharp turns on the road when you're eating a cone, and I was trying to get the paper off too
Well, I'm a
because it's a
trained
drag.
professional. You know, I can
Yeah.
do pretty much anything while I'm driving.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
good. So why don't you put that on the business
No,
card
I
and try to
can-
get.
I can do it all.
Go ahead.
This is true. So
Anyway.
anyway, we're going to begin tonight's show. We have a biggie this week. We have a
Big
new-
one. This is believe it or not, this is the first Quentin Tarantino film that we will be reviewing on Film Banter.
Oh, gosh.
The last film was 2015.
Oh, correct.
We weren't doing this show back
We're not
then.
doing the show.
So here we go, our first
So
Tarantino
here we
review.
go.
After this, we're going
It
to be
seems
doing.
to me we did do the Hateful Eight, though.
No, we might have mentioned it,
I
but
think we did
I don't
do
think
it.
we did a set review
I
on
do
it.
recall specifically talking about how disappointed I was that Quentin did the narration.
Oh, I agree, but I
through
think
the
that
film,
came
and I
up
thought
in
it ruined the
conversation.
film.
I don't think we did a review of The Hateful Eight. I think it came up as something else.
No, I
were
think we
thinking.
might have done a Quentin Tarantino show.
No, we did. We never have.
We never
We've
have?
never done a Tarantino show.
We should.
Well, that's why I wanted
Yeah.
to do this.
Are you
tonight.
scared?
No,
Because you should be.
no, I shouldn't be.
Because you're not on scare tactics.
Exactly, I'm not.
But you know, yeah, we should do a Tarantino.
Well, I'd love to do it
show.
sometime.
Are you sure we did? Because
We never-
I know we've reviewed Pulp Fiction. I know.
I
pretty
mentioned
sure
Pulp Fiction on our first episode ever when we talked about our favorite
know,
films. I mentioned Pulp Fiction.
Maybe we talked about just those specific shows within a genre we were doing a show of. That's very possible.
It's
also.
possible, but I honestly don't think we really did. We didn't cover his entire career. I know we didn't. Because I would have remembered, because he's my favorite.
No, I don't believe we did
Yeah.
cover it. Well, we should. And
But well, let's do it
this
sometime.
is what, his 7th film?
No, ninth.
Ninth film,
And he's
okay.
saying his next one is going to be his last one, his 10th. But then he's going to be doing TV. He's going to be writing novels. He's going to probably write theater. So he's not going away.
Oh, I
anywhere.
don't know if he'll stop completely. I hope he doesn't.
He said he's going to at least stop for now
Really?
until maybe some inspiration hits him. Who knows?
Okay, interesting.
But maybe it'll be like how Rolling Stones have been retiring for 20 years.
Well,
Let's
all
come
right,
out
well,
for
let's
one
get
more
into
tour.
it. One more, heart surgery
Exactly.
for Nick, and here we have.
So we have Once
Upon
Upon a Time.
We do.
We're gonna do Lion King. I'm gonna do Lion King. We're gonna do Godzilla, which you're gonna do.
King of the Monsters.
King of the Monsters. We're gonna do Hereditary. I'm sorry, I keep saying Hereditary.
Hereditary.
I keep saying it's the director
It's
of
called Midsommar.
It's the director of Hereditary's second film.
It is.
And then we're gonna do a couple films available for home viewing. We're gonna do High Life with Robert Pattinson
And the Siren.
and The Siren, which is a film we've never
Very
heard
independent little film.
of. Very, very independent.
And rather memorable, if I may say.
There are memorable qualities
I
to
think
it,
that's got a memorable little essence to it.
and we'll touch on
I
that
truly do.
at the end of the show.
Okay.
But for now, we're going to start with the big movie that came
Let's
out
start
this
with the biggie
week.
here.
His
Here it
biggest opening weekend, 40 million.
I know.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin's love letter to Los Angeles. Would you like to give the premise of the film?
Well, the premise of the film is basically, there kind of is no premise to the film.
It's a buddy
basically
movie.
It's basically a buddy movie. Here we
Yeah.
have, what's his name? Rick
His name is Rick Dalton.
And here's
Cliff Booth, his
Cliff
stuntman.
Booth, right, his stuntman. You
He's
know,
a movie star.
exactly. He's a whiny, crybaby little movie star who's always just, he's always trying to attain his former fame. He was in a television show called
it was a 50s.
The Law, somebody's Law.
Yeah. It'll come to me. But it was a 50s black and white western he was on.
Here we have the
because this
lovely
takes place in 1969.
Margot Robbie as Sharon Tate. Al Pacino
as an agent. Schwartz.
Correct.
No, Schwartz.
There you go.
He makes a point to tell him.
He does indeed.
He's a new agent that wants to help Rick Dalton get back to where he should be as an actor instead of doing guest spots on TV.
Correct. He's trying to influence the Leonardo DiCaprio character. But this is basically kind of it leads up to the Charles Manson murders, hence the Sharon Tate presence in the film. And it leads up to the murders that, of course, shaped 1969, 1970.
And ended the free love and hippie movement, really.
Well, I wouldn't say it ended, but it kind of, that was in 60. Well, Robert F. Kennedy had just been killed, and Martin Luther King also within the same year, April, Martin, and then June we had Robert Kennedy murdered. So, this kind of takes place amidst post that particular tragedy. So America was fairly vulnerable. Here's Rick being on the Hullabaloo show, which I remember well. There was a television show called Hullabaloo, and actually the girls were in like the cages, kind of the disco cages. I thought Margot was wonderful.
She was
in this
wonderful.
film.
She's very lovely.
It's a very
good.
bland performance, but I mean, she's playing kind of I get the feeling, and of course, her sister, Sharon Tate's sister, said that this was a drop right on performance.
Well, she
very similar to
Quentin went to her and talked with her to get her okay and spent a whole weekend with her to get a lot of backstory and to kind of just get a sense of
a feel
who
for
Sharon
the
was.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
we really don't
she
know.
gave her blessing.
We really don't know.
Yeah.
And she really did appreciate Margot's performance. She thought she was dead on the money.
Yeah, I thought she was good.
So, all right, Christopher, did I like this film?
I think you did, but I don't think you loved it. I think you liked it.
I'm going to have to say that that's probably true. I don't know if I love this film, although I feel as though down the road I will love this film.
It's going to grow on you because this film grew on me over the weekend. I saw it Friday. I left the theater. I'm going to go right out and say I liked it, but I didn't come out with like love. I didn't have that feeling I had when I came out of Pulp Fiction, which some movie would change my life just in a cinematic way. But this film, it really stayed on my mind all weekend long.
It definitely
and it grew on me
works its way into your psyche.
a bit.
No question.
In fact, as you know, I'm going to see this again tonight with some of my friends.
He is.
We're seeing it again.
His dear friends.
Yes.
I haven't been invited, so.
Because you already saw it. You're not going to come out with us.
And go see it again?
You're
How
not
do you
gonna,
know?
Come with us, 10 o'clock show.
All right, I'm
Come
going.
to Willowbrook.
I'll come.
Well, you're not
Oh, Willowbrook.
That's where we're going.
Oh, well, I don't want to go.
That's why I didn't invite you.
Okay, there you go.
But these are some of the spaghetti westerns.
Posters that
his character
Rick
gets
did.
in
He
the
does
film.
go to Italy during the course of the thing. But all that is kind of existential bullshit. For me, this movie is a rambling, and as you said at the beginning, it's more of a love. It's a love song, love story. It is a love homage to Hollywood back in the 60s, so forth.
Of Quentin's youth, when he was a little lad.
Basically it is, and I'm not sure, that this film rambles so much. There's so much almost useless footage that he puts in. I did love this.
That was great.
Yeah, I love this.
She's one of the Manson girls.
Her name is...
well, the actress's name is Margaret Qualley.
Okay.
She's Andy McDowell's daughter.
Oh, is she?
Who we've seen in a couple other films.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Yeah, she plays...
But in this film, her character's name is like Pussycat, Pussy Doll, one of the two.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Pussy, whatever.
But she lures Brad and wants him to take her to...
Mr. Charles Manson, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. He's in the film for like 3 seconds.
3 seconds, you never see him again.
Yeah, I was surprised.
But the other characters, Squeaky Fromm and Tex.
Squeaky in the film is played by Dakota Fanning.
I saw that.
One scene.
It's a very strange film to review. There are so many little segments that are throwaway segments that are segments that I thought were vital. Segments I thought were very well done. Segments I wish I never would have to see again. But on the whole, I did like it. This is the second time Quentin Tarantino, exactly 10 years ago in 2009, he rewrote history for the first time when he did Inglourious Basterds and killed Hitler and all his cohorts. And in this film, he changes around.
Well, let's not get into too much.
Well, it's I don't. I think it's.
Territory.
I think it's fair territory to say that the Manson murders have been repairably repaired, so to speak, or they've definitely.
I wasn't going to get into that.
Well, they've been compromised to some extent, but
there's an influence there. Let's put it that way.
You know, I'm curious to think to myself, and I hope most of you have gone to see the film yet, but. You know, I started to think to myself, how would this film have looked had he actually recreated the Manson murders as they were?
Yeah. Which
he does not in this film. He does his own Tarantino take on it. And I don't know. It really would be an interesting
Perhaps
thing.
It's been there, done that, so why have another film
But
get
nobody
touch on
has
that?
ever done that. We've never had a film where the Manson murders have been created. Ever.
We saw it just the movie Charlie Says we covered a few weeks back. They did the Manson murders in that film.
Well, not too. Well, you can't really go very exact, but no, they kind of just walk in and walk out, and.
No, I remember people getting stabbed quite a bit in that film.
Do you?
Yeah,
Okay.
even what's her name? Lulu stabs somebody. She's being coerced to do it, but she's stabbing somebody.
Oh, that you're right. You're absolutely right.
We just reviewed
apologize.
that. Yeah, Charlie Says does that. I mean, there's been many TV movies that have touched on it.
Well, there was Helter Skelter, the main
Yeah.
film with that was the guy that was in a film that you love, that Leviathan film. Isn't the same guy that played Charlie Manson in that?
What was his Leviathan with Peter Weller?
No. Well, there was another movie with a guy, and he played Manson, and he was wonderful. He was in the Helter Skelter film.
See, I never saw the original Helter Skelter.
Well, it's a made-for-TV movie, but it's very well done.
Because there was a TV movie a few years ago where the actor Jeremy Davies played him as well.
Oh, okay.
To some acclaim, from what I understand.
All right, interesting. But the Helter Skelter original TV film, that was basically about the Vincent Bugliosi case.
Yeah.
It was a frightening book.
Yeah. I know you've told me that
right
many
up there
times.
with In Cold Blood as far as being just one of the great docu-novels, if you would, of an actual murder that is just chilling to the bone. Mm-hmm. I read Helter Skelter back in its day, and my God, I was scared out of my mind. I came out in the 70s sometime. I'm said to say 73, 74, 75. My God, it just gave me the heebies. I was literally looking at my windows at night. I mean, it was quite frightening.
It's a horrifying event. I mean, it's really disturbing.
It truly is.
It's disgusting. It's tragic.
We're getting off the subject, though.
The fact that she was pregnant, Sharon Tate.
I know.
That's just the most egregious part of it.
It's horrible. And Roman, of course, was in Europe.
Yeah, he was getting ready for another film.
He was going to do tests, as a matter of fact. He was working on tests, which she buys the book of.
Yes.
In a bookstore in this film. I'm going to say this about this film. As far as performances go, I didn't love DiCaprio because he plays such a wimpy little shit, if you would. I think he plays
I didn't take him as wimpy. He's just a guy who's he's not secure in his career. He's an alcoholic. He's most actors are very insecure
constantly
anyway.
whining for me throughout the
film. And Brad Pitt is his buddy, hey man, you'll be fine. You're Rick.
This for me was Brad.
It is. I agree. I think Brad stole the film.
I hope Brad gets Oscar nominated for this.
I think he might definitely get nominated. I don't know if he's going to win, but he'll get nominated.
He might just get nominated.
I think they'll both get nominations, though. I think Mike Leo will.
Possibly so. Will they get supporting or will they get best actor?
Well, no, I think they'll both be
in the best actor nod.
Well, that's the thing, is they both have top billing together.
They do.
So it could be both two best actors competing, or they might throw Brad in the supporting. I'm not sure. But they're both leading roles.
They really are.
They both have two parallel...
I mean, it's a 2.5-hour film, and if you actually base...
It's almost 3. It's 2:41.
Well, it is, indeed. Yeah. But, if you base...
and it feels it. There are times where I felt that 2:41.
Yeah, true.
But I still enjoyed it nonetheless. I mean, I recommend it. I think it's a worthy companion in his filmography.
It didn't even feel like a Tarantino film to me at times. But
I got
other
what you're
times,
saying. But other times
it didn't. It didn't.
Some great speeches.
A
lot of comedy in this movie too.
Yeah,
he's got a really good comic mind with little subtle comedic moments that he throws in there. I love that whole speech that Bruce Lee gives when he's going to have
that's quite funny.
That fight with Brad Pitt.
I know, that was wonderful.
Yeah, and then Brad's got some great lines in that scene.
You know what I did like? I liked his attention to detail. The guy who plays Steve McQueen in this film at the Playboy.
Yeah, that's Damian Lewis.
That's
a good scene.
Oh, that's who that was.
Yeah, that's a good scene.
You're right.
Yeah.
But he looked so much like Steve McQueen in that.
He did. I
kept saying to myself, God, wouldn't I? He looks so much like Steve. Why can't he make some Steve McQueen movies?
I know.
Why can't we bring Steve McQueen back to life? This movie meandered all over the place for me. I sat there and you know, it's very difficult when you watch a movie with Brad and Leonardo, and it's a Tarantino film. I'm not always completely absorbed in the film. I'm sitting there judging. Well, there's Leonardo DiCaprio, there's Brad, there's, you know, these are people that are such iconic figures within their own right.
Yeah.
It
So it's
takes me
distracting
out
a
of the
little bit.
film a little bit. It does. It pulls me back a little bit. And I think the end pulled me back in.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly I did feel I was back into the film, and I did enjoy the last half hour.
Yeah, that was a crazy
40
ending.
minutes of the
A lot
film.
of fun
Yeah,
scenes.
it really
It was
was.
cool.
It's really, you know, I don't know if I would nominate this film for Best Picture by any means. I don't think it's a category.
It
I
might
think we're
get
gonna see-
nominated regardless. Definitely going to get
Well-
it for production design, cinematography,
True.
original screenplay. Those two actors, those are shoe-in nominations.
Oh, I don't think so, because you know, we've only got 5 Best Actor nods, and we're going to have plenty more
No, but I
stuff
mean, is the two
come by
actors
the
are
end of the
definitely going to be
year.
nominated. I think that definitely
No way.
Definitely Brad. I think
Definitely
he's a
Brad,
shoe-in.
but listen, if
Leo, most likely.
if we have better performances come by December, are you kidding me?
Well, you never
They're going
know.
to knock these 2 guys out in a flash.
This is such a big film, and if it makes a lot of money, it's going to be
I don't
on
think
the.
it's that big
It's
of
going
a
to be
film.
on the Academy. Yes, it is. This is a huge film. That a lot of the summer is riding on this movie. This is really the only original movie that's coming out this summer. Everything else is a reboot, a remake, a sequel,
No, that's a sad
a
but
superhero
true.
movie.
No, that's a sad
This
but
is
true.
really the only real original narrative we had this
We've
year.
got some more stuff
other
coming
than
out
us.
in August, though. We do have some other stuff.
Well, we have a couple
popping
things,
out.
and the end of the year is
We do.
always the best stuff, obviously.
Exactly.
But it's
Performance films, performance
Exactly.
movies, they'll all be popping out.
Yeah.
I did like this scene, though, with
That
the
was
Bruce.
great.
I thought the guy playing Bruce Lee,
he's good.
phenomenal.
Yeah, I
It's
saw a little
spectacular.
interview with him.
He was so
Yeah, he was good.
just in the and,
Yeah.
and it's a useless speech he gives.
Yeah.
It's kind of, and we have a lot of that in here. We have just people grandstanding for the sake of grandstanding.
It's just color. It's all it is. you know?
Exactly.
And that's a lot. Sometimes that's
It's
what
filler,
his movies
it's
are.
color, it's, you know, but for actual, you know, I wanted like a Pulp Fiction film.
Yeah.
We've got girth, we've got,
I know we do.
We've got bread, we've got butter, we've got meat and potatoes, the
I
whole
know.
9 yards is there.
I agree.
And Inglourious Bastards, even, you know, I didn't love that film.
I love
because
that a
it's
lot.
So
That was-
tongue-in-cheek.
I love that. It was
I do
fun.
love the film, but I don't know. The ending kind of ruins it for me a little bit. I wish he had stayed a little true to the actual truth. But then we have Christoph Waltz in that film, who steals the
just-
show.
it's amazing.
Once again, his second Academy Award with Quentin. He
Was
got
with,
one for
Django.
and he got one
For
for
Inglourious
Inglourious
Basterds. I agree.
No, it's
He's amazing.
outrageous. Yeah, this movie is so bizarre. I do want to see it again.
Yeah.
It does. There's an attraction there.
Yeah.
Even though there's a lot of dead weight for me. There's a scene here where Leonardo is kind of drunk. He's had too many bourbon and whatever, and he has a speech with a little girl that goes on for maybe 15 minutes of them just sitting there. He's got a book.
Oh, they're on
He's
set.
reading-
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They're reading a book, and it just felt to me like there was no
Well,
other
that
set
scene
going
could have
on.
been
Yes,
cut
he could have
down a
been
bit.
cut. Absolutely.
I don't know if it was 15 minutes. It might have been a 10-minute
Oh,
scene.
easily 10, at least.
But that scene
I'll
was
give it
there
10.
just to set up the scene that happens later on after they do a scene together.
Right.
That just sets up that
No, I
relationship.
understand.
That's the point of that scene.
I got you, but
You know, and it is a fun
we didn't
payoff.
need that kind of a.
I know,
Yeah,
but-
but as you say.
But that's all about the character arc. That's about him feeling better as an actor.
True.
And getting his confidence back. That's
No,
what
I
that was
understand,
about.
I understand.
So that's part of his arc.
Yeah.
But was it a
was
overly
it a
written arc?
necessity for
Possibly.
we, the audience? No, it was too much. It was
Yeah.
too much bullshit.
Well, see, his movies are always long. His
I know.
characters are loquacious. They like to ramble.
too.
His shortest movie, his 2 shortest films were what? Death Proof and Reservoir Dogs.
Well, Kill Bill.
Kill Bill. That's both those movies are over 2
Yeah,
hours
but
each.
Kill Bill is only an hour and 40 minutes or so.
The first one?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, it's
just
only an
that
hour
short?
and 40. And then the second one, I believe, was like 2 hours and 10.
Okay.
So still we have
Well,
a
generally he runs
3 hour,
long.
and I believe there's a director's cut also.
Yeah.
That's a little bit longer.
It's called The
It
Whole
has some-
Bloody Affair. Yeah.
Right, it's got the animation thing
Yeah, yeah,
with,
yeah. That was
with
cool.
Lucy
Yeah.
Liu and so forth. The scene where I was kind of surprised. There's a scene where Sharon Tate goes into a movie theater
To watch
see
herself.
The Wrecking Crew.
Yes, with
an
Dean
actual
Martin.
Dean Martin film. I have the film sitting in my office right now.
Yeah.
A box set of all the Matt Helm
Yeah.
films that were made, and he actually used the real Sharon Tate in those films.
Yeah,
That
you
was not
think
her.
I know that.
That
you
was
think
not
they
her.
would have
You think they would have
recreated it a bit, yeah.
Because when they did another, what was the other film that was done, and they used that? Oh, Leonardo doing Great Escape.
Yes, they did that.
Subbed him,
They did.
They subbed him.
That was cool.
That was
That
cool.
was fun.
Why didn't they do that with the Sharon?
They should. It was kind of took me out of the
I
film.
know.
Yeah.
Me too.
And that
Me
whole
too.
scene could have been trimmed. That whole moment where
That whole
she's
thing
going to
of
the
her
theater,
in the
that was a
theater,
little long.
and she's kind of seeing people laugh at her being a
And she's
bumbling
enjoying
fool,
that. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so forth. But there's a lot of stuff like that that you just question. And when a director makes a film and re-edits the film specifically, they're sitting there watching footage 100 times,
I know.
20,
I know.
1,000 times,
For months
maybe.
and months, yeah.
For months and months, a year maybe.
Could be.
Post-production.
Depends
on a
how
film
big the
like
movie
this.
is, absolutely.
Exactly. And you'd think to yourself that he'd be sitting there and he's probably just saying, no, I love this scene so much, I don't want to cut any of it. But this film really needed a trim. It really, really did.
He could have easily trimmed some time off,
Absolutely.
yeah.
And it needed it too.
But that said, though, I wasn't
it would
ever
have been a tighter.
bored.
I wasn't either because of there's the Tarantino lore.
I know
that
it
we
is.
have when we're
And
watching.
it's an event film because
It is.
he's an event filmmaker who doesn't make a movie that often. Sometimes he's got long spells. This was a 4-year gap, 15, 16, 4 years roughly. So when he makes a film, it's a big thing. And so
I understand,
we're in
but
there in the seats.
as a film watcher, as I am for all my life,
Yes,
as you,
yes.
I have to go for, did that work? Did that not work for me? A lot of it didn't work. It needed a good tightening up, and it would have been a better film had he tightened it up, had he not put so much junk in there.
And see, my interest is, I don't know if he's added more after Cannes, because when it premiered at Cannes in May,
Right.
it got such a great response that he's like, I might
5
put
minutes
more.
standing ovation.
Yeah, and he's like, he goes, I think I might even add more stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm curious.
Maybe he did.
Are we seeing the Cannes cut,
Yeah.
or is there more stuff in it since the Cannes cut?
Correct.
So I'd be interested to know if that's what this is or not.
I was a little disappointed once again. He goes for the narration. This time he used Kurt Russell to do the narration later on in the
Because in
film.
Hateful Eight, he did the narration
I hated
himself.
it.
It totally took you out of the film.
Ruined the film for me.
Yeah, it took you out of the film.
And on Netflix right now, there is the full.
I'm gonna watch that.
I want to
the
watch
chapters. That's
I want
cool.
to watch it too.
Yeah.
It's
If
got
you
the
don't know,
full-
they took Hateful Eight, his last film, and they chopped it up into chapters. So it's almost like a limited
It's now
series.
a 3-chapter.
Yeah.
It's a 3-chapter film as opposed to being a 3-hour film.
Yeah.
Now it's a 4-hour.
It's
film.
cool. It's neat.
4-hour film.
I'd like to watch that.
I'd like to see it too. I enjoy that film, but
I liked
Quentin
it too,
ruined it.
with that
and
narration.
you hear that and Quentin's voice is not pleasant. He's got kind of a
It's a little.
It's a little whiny.
Yeah.
He's much more grating as an actor on screen. I mean, I've seen him in Planet Terror.
I know.
He was in that.
I know.
I believe, wasn't he
acted
in
a bunch of his.
Well, he was
He was
also
in Pulp Fiction. He was in Four Rooms.
Right. And
He was in Django Unchained.
Yeah, the movie
From
that.
Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna.
Yeah.
That's what I was going for. Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah, he's much better suited behind the camera.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Nice little cameo by Bruce Dern in this film.
Well, he played the role that
I know.
that Burt Reynolds was going to play.
Oh, is that right?
And Burt Reynolds died.
Yeah, what a shame.
He was working on his lines the night before.
Oh, no
And he
kidding.
died.
Oh, what a
I
shame.
would have loved to have seen Burt in that scene.
I
like Bruce, but it would have been great
Yeah.
to go off on a Tarantino
No, I agree.
movie. You know,
That's cool.
That would have been awesome.
That would have been
He
nice.
only could have held on a couple more months. It's a shame.
I'm
tragedy.
sorry, you're sorry, but life
Would have been
on-
nice because my friends and I last week for fun we watched. I'd never seen it, a Burt movie from the '80s called Stick. It was entertaining.
okay.
Bad movie, but entertaining.
Right.
I like Burt. I've always
No, he
liked
was
Burt.
always entertaining.
He's great.
He had a very just jovial air about him.
Yeah, I love Burt.
He was always very comically inclined. Sharky's Machine. He tried to be serious. The film didn't work.
Yeah, he's always good with his little tongue in cheek, a little
Absolutely.
lighthearted.
No, Smokey and the Bandit, his
Yeah.
biggest films ever.
Of course,
He
yeah.
made more money than anything else.
But I guess-
this is kind of fun to watch Brad Pitt,
Yeah.
kick Bruce Lee's
That
ass
was fun.
there. That was pretty cool. The stunt woman, of course, from Death Proof, the Australian
Yeah,
woman
one of Quentin's
Quentin
friends.
uses all the time.
All the time.
She's in this film
Yeah.
as
As Kurt
the
Russell's wife.
of Kurt Russell.
They're a stunt team.
Who is and they didn't even show the scene where there's a question mark. Did Brad kill his wife with a spear gun?
Oh yeah,
on the
they just
boat?
reference it once.
They reference it, and then that would have been a Tarantino moment.
I know.
To
We're
have,
left to decide for ourselves.
Watch that spear go right through it. But
Probably did.
I'm sure he shot it. Why did he put it in there?
I don't know.
There's never been, and this is a strange comment to make, but it's very rare. There's never any nudity in a.
He's never done like a
never
sex
done
scene either.
A nudity.
I had thought of that.
No
It's
nudity
true.
in any of his scenes, which
It's
is kind of
very
rare because
true.
they're all rated R.
Yeah, but for
he-
language and violence.
Exactly. He stays away.
He has a lot
from
of
that.
sexual dialogue, but he never shows it.
Absolutely.
Which
a lot
is
of
interesting.
ambiguous sexual dialogue.
Even Martin Scorsese really doesn't have a lot of that in his films either.
Well, we did have a sex scene, believe it or not, in the first Kill Bill. right when she's being raped in Uma Thurman is being
Well,
raped
that's true, in the hospital, when she's catatonic,
right
basically.
before she wakes up,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah, I guess we saw that. But
Yeah,
it wasn't like
it wasn't
graphic nudity
all
or
out.
anything.
Yeah, but there's never nudity or anything.
No,
like
he doesn't
that. It's
have
always
that,
very,
which is interesting.
It's nice too. It's pleasant.
Yeah, but he does have his foot fetish. He's always got to show women's feet.
Does he?
Oh,
Well,
every
he
movie.
did show. Yeah, he did show.
This movie
feet in
quite a
this,
bit.
yeah.
He loves feet. But anyway, I guess we should move on because we got some more stuff to tackle here. We both liked it. I think I liked it a little more than you.
Possibly.
But I think it's going to be, like you said, one of those movies is going to build
It's
and
gonna
grow
grow.
on you when
Yeah,
you
I
have it.
agree.
Like when you watch it at home.
I definitely
I'm going to
agree.
get that text from you. It's a fantastic 4K on my TV.
I don't know about that.
You're going to tell me that.
No, it doesn't matter. You know what a film looks like. I mean, I saw it in a very nice theater.
I
I'm
know.
surprised they didn't put it in one of the Dolby or one of the IMAX. I guess it's just not.
Well,
that
Lion
big of a
King has
film.
taken over
Lion
that.
King has dominated,
And it's still
all
making a crazy
visual
amount of money.
aspect. It is indeed.
Yeah.
It's over $1 billion now worldwide, which is outrageous within
Yeah.
the first week. My God,
So,
incredible!
yeah.
You know, it was so good for me just to see Brad
I agree.
Pitt
I agree.
looking like Brad Pitt
He
from Thelma and Louise. This
was
guy has
the
aged
best
so
part
well.
of this movie.
He was indeed, and at the same time,
So good.
You feel through the whole thing. He's just playing Brad Pitt.
He's just hanging.
He's
Yeah.
just playing Brad Pitt.
He does it
He's just
so
an
easy.
easygoing guy.
Yeah.
He's just
He was great. I love that scene where like he picks up that girl
Yeah.
that we mentioned earlier, and
Well,
she
there's
wants.
two scenes where he's almost about to pick her
Yeah,
up.
but the second time
and
he gives
the
her a
third
lift.
time, no, the third time he gives her the
Third
lift.
time, yeah, and then she wants to do some things with him. He's like, "Listen, how old are you?"
Yeah.
And she goes, "All right, I'm not 18." He goes, "Yeah." He goes, "Listen, my entire life prison's been chasing me, and I'm not going to go there because of you."
Yeah, exactly.
It was cool.
Because
Something
you're
like that.
underage, I know.
But anyway, let's
I
move
like
on.
the Playboy Mansion things.
Yeah, that was
really
cool.
And one of the things I really did like about this film was that they just showed marquees. They showed
Yeah.
like the such
A lot
and
of
such
attention
club.
paid to that,
A
yeah.
lot of neon signs.
They had Franco
from,
Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet in the background of one of the
They
marquees.
did indeed.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, it's just it's a good looking movie,
Beautiful.
and it draws you in just through its color and
Mm-hmm.
its enhancement and but the characters were.
It's his most expensive film, which I believe because of the production design.
Oh, I believe it.
They
I
say
believe it.
$90 million to $100 million
It was
budget.
just a little on the bland side to me. I just wish it had been. I wish it had more meat and potatoes to it, but I still recommend it very highly.
Okay.
And I suggest everybody.
I recommend it highly too.
Yeah.
And it's a big theater, it's a big screen film.
Beautiful. Looked
It looks
great
gorgeous.
on the big screen.
Great
It really
sound.
did. No, it was-
his movies always have great music.
Yeah, great
Yeah.
soundtrack. I have the
Very
soundtrack
good, yeah.
already. I purchased it.
Cool.
And it's loaded with
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
I'm surprised he used a lot of Paul Revere and the Raiders. There's like 2 tracks from
Yeah.
Paul Revere. He used Buffy St. Marie singing the Circle Game, which is a song written by
Mm-hmm.
Joni Mitchell, which is kind of bizarre. But I loved Sharon Tate just dancing around
Yeah.
and being this little
Margot has a
butterfly
lot
of
of
a
screen
soul.
time.
Yeah, it's true. Here we have Quentin
Directing.
filming his scene
Yeah.
here.
I thought Pacino was fun in this too.
I thought Pacino was
He wrote
good,
the part
too.
for him too, which is nice.
Oh,
I'm
did
glad
he?
he was available
Oh,
to do
okay.
it. Yeah. Who doesn't
Okay.
want to be in a Tarantino movie, you know?
I know.
So
Very
that,
interesting.
the only actor that it would be awesome if you could get, wouldn't it be great if Jack Nicholson, his last movie, is Tarantino's last film as a director?
Oh, man.
The maybe the R-rated Star Trek film he wants to do.
I'm surprised he didn't get Jack to pop in The Irishman, which is coming out very shortly.
Yeah, that's premiering in
He's got
September
Joe
at the New York
Pesci
Film
and,
Festival.
De Niro and Al Pacino.
Bobby Cannavale,
Oh,
Harvey
okay.
Keitel,
Well, okay.
Ray Romano.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
I
that would be,
believe Sebastian Maniscalco's in that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
The comedian?
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
pretty sure he's in that.
Well, that would be kind of cool. I would love to see Jack get back and do one more film.
Do one more film.
He's just got to lose
He
a
was
little
supposed
weight.
to do a film last year, and then the movie fell through, so he didn't do it.
Wow.
It was going to be an American remake
Yeah,
of a
he's,
German
he's
comedy.
looking like a beached whale
He's
these
a big
days,
guy now.
unfortunately. Yeah,
But I'd
it's a
love to
shame.
see him again.
He's
But anyway,
too-
we really got to move on.
Okay, let us move.
I'm going to do a quick review of Lion King since you didn't see it.
All right, please do.
So, The Lion King. I mean, you haven't seen it. I know you never saw the original.
Mm-mm.
We don't need to get into the story because I think most people know it already. This is basically a CGI, not live action, a CGI shot-for-shot remake of the original Lion King.
It's a half hour longer.
It's a half hour longer. It has a few new scenes. I think there's one new song. The rest is very true to life in terms of, very true to the original. The storyline has not been really altered.
Did you like it better than the original?
I liked it quite a bit. I had a good time watching it. I think the original was still a classic for me. One of my favorites of the Disney original films. One of 4 that I consider to be my favorites: Aladdin, Lion King, Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
So we're
Little
getting.
Mermaid, really?
I like that was a good one. Yeah, and that's coming out in live action next year. They're doing it.
Okay.
But this is, it's fun because we have a lot of new actors doing the voices. The only returning actor is James Earl Jones, who does the voice of...
They couldn't bypass him.
They couldn't, they had to. He is the father.
The king.
Yeah. So, and then, you know, it's all about the young guy's journey, Simba, and so this time around we have...
I am your father,
pretty
Simba.
much.
Yeah.
So this time around we have, playing the older version of Simba, we have Donald Glover. We have John Oliver playing Zazu, a funny bird.
Little bird, I saw.
He basically does like
yeah.
daily reports. He was great. Honestly,
Was
he was the standout for me.
No kidding.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Perfectly cast.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Interesting.
I thought that Seth Rogen was very good as Puma the Warthog. Billy Eichner plays Timon the meerkat. That's a friend of the warthog. Very funny. Chiwetel Ejiofor plays the villain Scar, whereas in the original it was Jeremy Irons. And then the love interest, Nala, whatever her name is, we have Beyonce do the voice.
You know, I'm very surprised. I'm going to interrupt you very briefly here.
That's
along
Zazu
with
right
your
there.
review. I know, I saw him. But you know, I'm very surprised at the Academy Awards. They do not recognize voice acting, and they should. But it's not recognized at all.
Yeah, I don't know if we've ever had a nomination for
Never.
a voice performance.
Never.
I don't think we have.
Now, and they should.
I agree.
It should be a separate category.
I agree.
Maybe not necessarily male, female. Break it into actor,
But
actress. But just best performance.
By voice.
Yeah.
Maybe it's recognized at another award show that features just voiceover industry. I'm sure that exists.
I doubt it. Not
Well,
within the Academy.
Not with the Academy, but I'm
That's all
saying
technical.
a separate award
They
ceremony.
do a technical award ceremony for cameras.
Well, that's all
and-
technical stuff.
that's
Yeah, no, but I'm
scientific.
saying separate from the Academy.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
saying maybe the voiceover guild has an award ceremony.
The SAG
because they
Actors
have
Guild.
one for the Directors
They might
Guild,
for the SAG,
Writers
yeah.
Guild have awards.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. I agree with you 100%.
Yeah,
They
the
should, and we
Screen
should have a
Actors
stunt category, definitely.
I don't think so.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
not necessary.
Why? Because it's amazing, some of these stunts. We've had this discussion on Facebook and in person.
Yeah, but you don't
We
know
disagree.
anymore. You don't even know if it's real stunts or CGI.
No, I'm talking about real stuff. I'm not talking about CGI.
How do you determine?
That has to be determined. That has to be the company that releases the film has to submit it as a category.
It'll never happen.
I don't think so.
And I've talked to you about this.
I think
before.
it'll happen
don't think
eventually.
No,
Because there's been a
never.
lot of push for it within the industry.
No, it'll never happen.
I disagree 100%.
There's
100%.
too many. There's too many ways to make a stunt.
No, but then you don't qualify for the stunt category. Then you're in the special effects category. It has to be a
No, I'm
a
talking
real
about
stunt.
yeah, but any real stunt that's done. I mean, we do have stuntmen die all the time. We just
do,
had
it
one
still
die
happens.
on Fast and
Most of the stunts in Mad
Fast and
Max
Furious
were all
film.
real stunts.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's not all CGI right there.
Yeah. No,
Anyway,
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the nature of the stunt itself. It is made more and more less dangerous for an actor to do. So, you know.
Well, yeah, there's also a lot of
you know,
harnesses and
a stunt,
protections.
his harness, he's flying out
Yeah,
of
but
the
it's
thing
still a
against the
stunt,
blue
a stunt
screen.
sequence.
It's a stunt
It
sequence.
could be
but,
best stunt sequence.
You know, it's
people
done
involved
in slow
in that.
motion. I mean, you know, back in the old days, I could understand where you're going. You know, in the John Ford days, in the Howard Hawks days, when we had westerns and we had guys literally falling off the top of a saloon. You know,
Yeah, but people
they're
are
shot
still
and they do
falling
that
off.
flip over.
People are still doing that stuff.
Yeah,
stunt actors are still jumping off bridges.
Now
and
it's
stuff.
so much easier to do. They can, you know, they're on a bungee cord, which they blue screen out. I mean,
Yeah, they
it's
do,
a different
but it's
world
still
now.
a stunt. You can still get
All
hurt.
right, you can.
We
argue
agree
all
to
you
disagree.
like.
We'll never agree
Yeah,
on
we'll
this
never
topic.
agree, and it'll never
You think
happen.
I'm wrong? I think you're wrong. Agree to disagree.
Well, the Academy thinks I'm right because they're not going to do it, and I don't believe
no,
it's ever
honestly,
going to
but yeah,
happen.
there's a huge push for it within the stunt industry and other actors that are
God
supporting
bless
it.
us, everyone.
It might happen. They said there wouldn't be a
really
visual
doubt it,
effects
though.
category. There's a visual effects category.
Well, that should be.
Yeah, but there should be a stunt
visual
category.
effects, but a
Millions
stuntman
of people
category-
think there should be a stunt category.
Millions
saying,
of people?
A lot of people would
Maybe
support
a
it.
couple, maybe 30 to 40 people.
No, what are you kidding me? Do you
Maybe-
know how many people have signed petitions?
Maybe 100 people.
Bullshit. A lot of
You
people.
and your friends.
No.
So that's 8 of you.
This is the entire stunt industry has been lobbying for it for
9
years.
of you that think there should be.
I disagree.
Well, I just.
We
don't
should
think
be
it's gonna
supporting. Why do you care if there isn't one? Why are you against it?
I just don't think it's something that people at home would want to even care
They
about.
don't care about half the categories of the Oscars. Live action, short film, who gives a fuck? Live short film, best short film, who gives a shit?
Okay, here's something I
Nobody
can-
cares about those
let me
categories.
interrupt you.
The speech
This
of the
is what I
Academy
can-
president, who gives a shit? Nobody cares.
This is what I think could be best stunt, not stunt man. Best.
That's
stunt.
what I'm saying. Best stunt scene. That's what I'm saying.
No, you were saying best stunt man.
No, I never said best stunt man.
Oh, I thought you were
said
referring
no
to-
because you're not listening. I said best stunt, Not stunt man. Best stunt sequence, best stunt scene. I'm not saying best stunt man. I never said stunt man. I said,
No.
and then the Oscar is given to the stunt coordinator who wrangles everything together.
Director,
That's the
director or the stunt director.
Well, it's the stunt coordinator.
It is a category.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
saying.
could certainly see it in a film like the
like
George
Mad
Miller.
Max. That's what
Mad
I'm
Max
saying.
films, yeah, of course.
I never said best stuntman. Not once.
Oh, I thought you had.
No, that's
It's
your
not
narrow,
important.
not listening
All right, let us
mind.
move on to our next film, Godzilla, I believe.
Well, I didn't finish. You circumcised my review.
Oh, I did?
Yeah, I wasn't going to go much further.
I cut it short, he said.
Yes. All I'm saying is, I thought Lion King was a lot of fun.
Okay.
People are criticizing it, saying it's lifeless. I had a good time watching it. I had a smile on my face like I did when I saw the original in the theater in 1994. I laughed at all the funny parts.
Did you?
I enjoyed the scenes.
Did you see it with a young man in your life, Max?
No, I saw it with my wife.
Oh, okay.
And,
Did she like it?
Yeah, we both really enjoyed it.
Okay.
She took her son today to see it again. I think I
Okay.
told you that over dinner.
Okay, interesting.
It's a fun movie. It's very entertaining. Is it better than the original? I think the original is always going to be a little bit better.
John Favreau directed.
John
He just
Favreau
did
directed. He spent 3 years doing it.
I know.
Long amount of time.
I know. And he also did The Jungle Book.
He did the Jungle Book. He went right from that to this.
2 years ago.
And he said
yeah.
that this film only has one scene that was actually filmed. Everything else is all CGI. But
Might
I
just be a
recommend it.
scene where there's just trees.
It could have been something as simple as that, yes.
Yes,
But I enjoyed it. I say it's probably about a 3-star film.
Okay.
You know,
I had no desire to see it. I'm
I
not
think
big on
you'd like
animated.
it, though.
I might see
But
it.
this is not like the same kind of animated. It's not like Pixar.
I know.
This is like you watch Beauty and the Beast. That was the same type of stuff.
Well, no, it wasn't. Those were all people in that film and talking teapots and things
Yeah,
like
but
that.
they were all people that were CGI'd over. When Dan Stevens played the Beast, he was wearing a green screen outfit. He was
Yeah.
painted over. These were
Okay.
painted on. There just was an actor doing.
I have a
voiceover.
hard time watching animals in any way.
I know.
Even if they're fake animals, I don't want to see them get hurt. I know they're fake.
I know.
I don't want to see the little cub and the hunter comes and kills mom like in
But that
Banter.
doesn't happen in this movie.
Okay.
He gets killed by a fall.
Oh, thanks. Thanks for ruining the film. Well, now I don't have to see it.
That's the whole crux of the movie. It happens in the first 10 minutes.
Oh, for Christ's sake,
Anyway,
Doris.
we're moving
All
on.
right, let us move on.
Now, you're very hopefully...
Well, let's go to Godzilla. Let me do Godzilla. You just did your review. Let
All
me
right,
do mine,
do
and
it.
then we'll go to
All right,
Midsommar.
you got your 3 minutes because you...
Well, you certainly did far more on
No, I did maybe 3 minutes because we spent 5 minutes arguing about the stunt category.
Well, you can argue all you like, but regardless.
I still probably spent maybe 3 minutes on
about
Lion
five.
King.
Probably
three.
did five.
Three.
Well, I'm going to spend as long as I like on
No, because we're running out of time.
Trust
We
me,
wasted 25 minutes already.
It's not really going to take all that long.
Well, you say that every time.
No, I mean this sincerely.
Okay.
Okay, Godzilla, King of the Monsters. It is the latest. What was the last one called? Just
Uh,
Godzilla. Maybe?
Godzilla.
It was just
And
Godzilla.
then they had King Kong.
Well, they had
Skull
King
Island.
Kong, Skull Island, but the Godzilla format is the Japanese laced.
Yeah.
You know the origin.
Everybody knows what Godzilla
You
is at this
know,
point.
there's Gorgo and there's Mothra, and
Mothra,
there's Ghidra, the
yeah, all that
three-headed
stuff, yeah.
the three-headed dragon. There
Yeah.
he is, looking straight out of the all three of what's her name, my beloved Emilia Clarke's character,
Game of Thrones.
yeah.
Khaleesi.
Khaleesi,
Yes.
but her real name is
Daenerys.
Daenerys. All right, and it looks like all three of her dragons just put together.
Speaking of
Game of Thrones, there
There's
he
Tyrion,
is.
Charles Dance.
Charles Dance.
Tywin, I mean.
Exactly. Lannister, Tywin Lannister. We have Vera Farmiga
Yeah.
right here. We have little
Kyle
Bobby Brown.
Chandler.
He was great in this film. You know,
I
I
liked
gotta
him.
say about this film, they sold this film to me. They really did a great job. It just has such an intensity.
I'm looking forward to
about
seeing
it. It had such an intensity about it. Now, Godzilla only shows up 90 minutes into the film.
I'm sure.
You know, we have all these other monsters coming along.
Yeah.
The end scene is hilarious. I have to say this. I really adored it in a way. There is one particular.
Don't give
monster-
anything away because I want to see it.
Give it away. The title gives it away. Who's
No,
the
when you
king
say
of the
it's hilarious,
monsters?
don't give away what's hilarious.
Godzilla's that. Here's little Bobby Brown right there.
Millie
And
Bobby
our
Brown?
beloved Vera Farmiga. I
Yes.
really love this woman.
She's wonderful.
I just think she's awesome. But you know, who's the king of the monsters? Godzilla. They tell
course
you
it
right in
is.
the title. So at the end, we have the other. I'm not giving anything away because this is really an action movie and a sacrifice movie. Ken Watanabe is in this film. A little Bobby Brown. I wish she wouldn't get so typecast. She comes straight from Stranger Things to
Yeah.
doing a movie like
She
this.
was apparently doing these things simultaneously.
What?
I heard she was filming this and Stranger Things at the same time.
Her characters are exactly the same, pretty much. But this is a great-looking film. It
Looks
really
awesome.
is. The only thing I don't care for, and they did the same in the first one, the entire landscape is constantly this dark gray.
Yeah.
It never gets, we never have a daytime scene. We never have almost a nighttime scene. We always just have this dark gray scenario. I don't know if that was easier to make these monsters come to life, or
Could
they
be.
just wanted to keep, they just wanted to have these monsters in this particular dry, dark scenario. It's hard to see them at times. You know, I mean, you know, and with all the building dust coming down, 9/11 style,
Yeah.
you know, you're going, wait a minute, who the hell is that?
I know.
But I like this film. I truly did. It's a solid
Yeah,
three-star
I'm looking forward
film.
to seeing it. I wanted to see
There's
it.
Ken Watanabe right
There he
there.
is.
He's
We have
great
Bradley
in this
Whitford
film.
in this film. I always liked
We do have
him.
Bradley right out of West Wing, and
Yeah.
you know, this film could have been far worse.
And we have
But-
O'Shea Jackson Jr., Ice Cube's son in this film.
Oh,
playing
right.
military
Looks
guy.
just like him.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
does.
straight out of Compton.
Exactly.
What's this guy's name again?
Cal Chandler.
Yeah, he's terrific.
Straight out of Zilla.
He's the yeah. But I like this film. It had a great intensity to it.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch
It
it.
never faltered just on, you know, someone's got to give their life. They've got to put the bomb right here to wake Godzilla up
Yeah.
so that he wakes up and he goes and defeats all the other monsters. But I gotta tell you, the end scene, I'm gonna ruin it for all of
No,
you.
I want to see it.
I wanna tell
No,
you.
don't ruin it.
It's
I'm going to be
wonderful.
pissed. Don't ruin it.
It's nothing to be. It has nothing to do
I
with
don't
the film.
want to know what it is.
Okay.
Don't ruin it.
All right, but
Don't do it. I hate when you do that. You do it
hilarious.
all the time. No
It's so
spoilers.
stupid. It's not even a spoiler.
It
Mike.
is. Well, then, if it wasn't something, you wouldn't want to be saying it. It's something
Here's that
good.
thing.
No, I don't want to
Who's
hear
the
it.
king of the monsters?
I don't want to hear about it.
Godzilla.
Of course.
Case closed.
All right.
That's it.
Thank
I'm
you.
not spoiling anything.
So then why make
They
a thing
tell
of
us.
it?
By the way, we got what's her face from?
Yeah, Sally Hawkins.
Sally Hawkins. Yeah, very
Yes.
good. Okay, I won't spoil it. for
Don't
you.
spoil. I want to enjoy
Not
this
a big
film.
deal, but if
To me, it is. I
Okay.
don't like to know anything.
Very well. I like the film. It's intense.
Cool.
It's good. It's quite good.
Cool.
And,
I'm gonna watch it
Would
soon.
I watch it again? You know, it really was in a magnificent Dolby Atmos
I know, it's awesome.
atmosphere here in my beloved home here, where the sound was just immersing, and it just via all the movie tricks that movies use,
Mm-hmm.
it uses them all to just sway us. Let's face it. You know, the old Godzilla films, Godzilla,
Mm-hmm.
back in the Japan days, where we just had a guy in a suit walking around a tiny little city model that they used.
Yeah.
You know, this film is all CGI special effects, and you know, they used all their tricks in the bag, and they pulled it off.
Good. These movies are very comparably done these days. You know?
They really are. It just had. I turned it on, and the key is, do I watch or do I turn and play with my phone,
I know.
or go here or run around the house and do something else? No, I watched it all. I just sat here, and if I did want to go do something else, I stopped it and paused it to sit here and watch it myself. So I liked it. Yeah, I
Cool.
did. I like this film. Characters just out of the blue like him. You got great acting
Fun.
going
Yeah, I
on.
agree. It
You
looks
really
great.
do. I mean, you know, if you had lesser people, if they didn't work on the acting the way they did, and I'm not trying to belong this just to piss you up,
Mm-hmm.
but you know, if they didn't work on the acting and make the script work. And
Well, the
make
people are the draw. I mean, there
well,
are.
no, the
there
script
are,
is the draw, but the people
They are
enhance
our
the draw.
emotional clutch that gets
The
us.
actors and
you know,
actresses enhance the draw by
course.
their grasping of the lines that they're saying,
Yes.
and the crashings and the booms and Godzilla, you know,
Yeah.
you know, making his horrible wailing siren sound. I mean, this movie, I don't know. I enjoyed it though.
Cool.
You know, take it as a tongue in cheek or take it whatever you want to take it. It pulled it off.
Great.
There
Sounds
will be
good.
a sequel, I'm sure.
Well, they're setting up because the next year's already. We know is going to be Kong and Godzilla together.
Oh, cool.
That's already been
so
announced.
a big fight.
Yeah. All right. So
All right,
now we're going to do
go to Midsommar.
Midsommar, which is the new film from the director of Hereditary, whose name is Ari Aster. Ari Aster, whatever. So this film
This
is.
film is a kick in the ball.
Yeah, it is. So this is Florence Pugh, who's excellent in this film.
She's dynamite.
In this film, she is
we
dating.
just saw her. She was in something big.
Yeah,
I
well, a couple
looked her up.
year and change ago, we talked about her. She was in.
Yeah, I just looked her up.
It
on
was
the
in
phone
that
the other
film
day,
with
too.
the Shakespearean title,
Lady Macbeth.
Lady Macbeth.
She was in Lady
But
Macbeth.
she's been getting a lot of roles.
Yeah.
She's coming out in that, later on next year in Black Widow. She's in that.
Okay.
But her and this guy here, Jack Rayner, they're
Right.
dating. We learn right in the beginning of the film, we see a tragedy with her family without getting into what happens. That's a
can
crazy scene. That was intense.
I think you can tell that what happens. That's right in the first 10 minutes.
All right, well, I don't want to say too much because I didn't know going into what happened. Let's just say she loses her family. I don't want to say more than that.
Okay.
And then she's grieving, extreme grief. Her boyfriend wants to go to Sweden with his friends. There's a big summer festival that goes on. One of their friends, his friends, is Swedish. His family comes from this small village where they do this kind of a summer solstice pagan festival, so to speak.
It almost has an Amish ritual.
There's a ritualistic element.
There is a ritualistic element. And now let's be very frank and honest. This is a horror film.
It's a horror film.
And this is a film that it's 2 hours and
it's long.
27 minutes long.
Yeah.
It is constantly, you are being manipulated. However, I'm going to say this about this film. Unlike Once Upon a Time, this film I barely could take my eyes off of. I mean, even though it rambles,
sucks you in, yeah.
It sucks you in, but it has such a dreamlike quality. Just the filming alone was so ethereal and so surrealistic to me. I just found myself being constantly amazed by the genius of this director.
He's great.
Hereditary was a very bizarre film.
I think it's a superior film in my opinion.
I do too.
I like this quite a bit more than
This
Hereditary.
film is a harrowing piece of work.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you
Very
this.
disturbing at times.
Oh, really? You think?
No, but I mean, I want to tell the audience that in case they didn't know.
Disturbing is not the word.
Because you hear a lot of hype. The amount of hype that came out with Hereditary.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed.
A new kind of horror film.
Yeah.
But it was, in a sense, kind of.
A little bit. But this was more effective.
This is, I agree. I agree. Yeah.
That scene. Whoa.
Oh boy, there are just things. But I'm going to tell you one little story here, and we all love little stories. I walked out of the theater, and there was a young black lady standing there, and she was about to go in with her buddy to clean the theater. So I walked out, and she's going, she's going, "You like that movie?" Forgive me, I'm doing a voice that is exactly how she sounded. She said, "Did you like that movie?" And I said, well, it certainly was unlike anything I ever saw. And I said very out loud, that movie is a mind F.
Yeah.
And she said, "That's right. You're right." And she said, "Do you ever want to see that movie again?" And I said, I don't think I do. I don't know if I ever want to see this film again. It is such a... You go into such a rabbit hole in this film. Yeah. It is the Alice in Wonderland trip that you just want to leave anytime you can. It's a horror film.
It's unsettling. Very.
It's unsettling. We see, like in any horror film, what happens? People slowly disappear.
Yeah.
In this film, it's not done on camera.
No.
Which I like. I love every part about this film. This film is so... To me, I'm going to give this film 4 stars. Its effect... And that's all we can ask of any film. How it affects us. How did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood affect me? 3 stars, 3.5. I know I'll grow to love it because I love Leo. I love Brad.
Yeah.
I love Quentin. Did it affect me anywhere near that this did? No way.
It also wasn't that kind of film either.
This film was powerful.
Yeah.
This film caught you by the gonads and never let up. It just squeezed the very sanity out of you because it was all done in the justification of religion and pagan ritual. It just took your mind and it just kept diving deeper. And you thought you were going deeper, and no, we're pulling you deeper. It would grab you by the nose and it would just suck you right down that hole. And you're just constantly on this, well, what if they just, what would I do? That's how you really know that a film is affecting. What would I do in that scenario? I would just get up in the middle of the night and go tearing out the door.
Yeah.
But apparently some people try and do that. They try and leave.
Yeah.
And look at the smiles on these people.
Yeah, well, they're all these indoctrinated cultists. They're
Precisely.
They're there, with the concept that it's all about the betterment of our group as opposed to the individual. And they all believe in these crazy things that are going to happen if you do this and if you do that. And
the only thing that's missing,
very ritualistic,
is the purple Kool-Aid.
Exactly.
The only thing that's missing in this film.
Yeah.
And there's a sex scene in this film.
Yes, there is.
Now I'm going to say this. I saw this film at the Palisades Theater. Now, when I got there, it's a very small theater.
Very small.
I thought there were 8 seats. I think there were maybe 16.
Okay.
By the time the film actually started, this is a 2-hour and 27 film. I had to sit through 40 minutes of coming attractions, trailers, bullshit, commercials, Geico commercials they got.
So you got there extra early.
I got there.
Usually don't.
I was there an hour early.
Why did you get there so
at 2
early?
Because I just picked up my car.
Oh,
I don't want to drive
time
home.
to kill. Yeah.
I don't want to drive home and come back.
Yeah.
I stayed there. I went and had lunch. I walked around the mall.
Okay, I got it.
I played the game. Then I figured, okay, I'm just going to.
Well, yeah, when you sit there for those commercials,
I'm gonna sit there
it
all-
is 40 minutes.
Oh, Christ.
Whole pre-show.
It was horrifying.
I know.
It was horrifying.
I know.
You know, normally I get to a theater, I always get there 20, 25 minutes after. I missed the very beginning of Once Upon a Time in
Oh,
Hollywood.
you misjudged.
I did. No, I didn't misjudge. Well, I got stuck in some traffic, but I was about a minute off.
Okay.
I know I didn't miss much of it.
Probably
I
didn't.
got there right at, I'll tell you later. But this film, I'll tell you something, this just immerses you. You are just constantly being toyed with
Yeah.
and played with, just like the people in the film.
Yeah.
There are constant... they live in a small room. There's 9 of them.
They're all like in the dormitory almost.
Right.
Yeah,
It's
they're
like
all one
almost,
bed next to
well,
each
it's
other.
like, let's face it. The first thing that we want to go. I don't know how much the trailer gives away of this film.
Not a lot, and that's what I liked about it because
Yeah?
you only know so much going into the trailer, into the
Okay.
film when you see the trailer.
Yeah.
So for me, that's why there was so much of this movie that was fresh because I only saw the trailer maybe
Yeah.
once or twice a
Yeah.
few weeks before, so I didn't remember a lot of it.
Yeah.
Because they do sometimes
So
they
I'm not
do
even
give
gonna,
away too much.
I'm not even going to say what film. There's an old Nicolas Cage film.
I know.
I'm not even going to go there.
Yeah, you
there's
and
a
I
previous
discussed
film.
that.
Yeah.
And that was a remake of a
Susan-
previous
Yeah,
film.
exactly.
Yeah.
There was a
But that's been mentioned in the reviews of this film as a reference.
I know,
point
but
a
let's
couple
not even
times.
go there.
No.
Our audience, I'd rather you just get there and witness it as it is.
You know what it also reminded me of? That cut you off. What was that? Remember that Dan Stevens film, that Netflix film that we watched?
Oh, yeah,
Where
yeah.
he goes to a cultish kind of a place to save his sister.
And everybody's
some
getting
brutal
chopped
violence
up and-
there.
oh, that was awful.
That was a rough one too.
That was a
I can't remember
rough
the
one.
name of it though. It was like
it was a made-for-Netflix film.
it
too.
was, yeah. It was a name like a one word, like hell or not hell, but it's something like that. It's one word.
You can look it up while I
Well, my
continue
phone's
rattling
charging.
away. Oh,
It's all
okay.
right. But,
I believe my phone's right over there.
It's okay. It'll come to me.
Okay. We have the elders. There's a
Yeah.
ritual that the elders have to go through. Hence this particular scene that you chose. I wish
Yeah.
you hadn't chosen this.
Well, that doesn't give away too much. We don't know the context.
Well, it kind of does in a way, but in a sense it
You
doesn't.
can't even tell who's being burned.
I guess you can,
No.
but I'll tell you though, this movie really was a nightmare. It was a true nightmare on screen.
Yeah.
Beautifully filmed, beautifully made. Who the hell was this creature?
That girl was disturbing as hell.
Disturbing is not the word.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
is almost the little girl that was in Hereditary at the beginning, who loses her life, or her head gets
Yeah, well,
chopped
that
on.
girl was weird looking for real. This has got to be
No,
makeup.
no, that wasn't. She wasn't for real. She was a beautiful little girl in real life.
Oh, really? That was makeup? I thought that was how
all
she
makeup.
really looked.
Oh no, she was a cutie
Oh, okay.
pie.
I didn't know.
She was a little 12-year-old girl. She was a very cute
Yeah.
little girl. I gotta say, this chick right
Florence
here,
Pugh is
my
awesome.
God, she was the star of this film.
Yeah,
she
she's
did
excellent.
it all. She took this to the heights. And
We also just saw her in the wrestling movie. She played the girl that becomes a wrestler for the
yes.
WWE.
Does she?
The movie The Rock produced.
Yeah,
Rock
yeah,
was
yeah.
in it. Yeah, that was her.
That was her.
That was her.
No.
Yes,
no.
it was.
That was her that played the
main girl.
Main girl.
That was her.
With the dark hair.
Florence Pugh. That's her.
Oh God.
Yeah.
She was great.
She's
in that
excellent. She's a
film.
great actress.
She's a great little actress.
She is.
But.
Fighting with My Family was what it was called.
There you go.
That was her.
Right, and it was written by...
And directed by Stephen Merchant.
I love Stephen
Yeah,
Merchant.
that was a fun
dearly.
film.
It was a great, fun little movie. But this film is frightening.
Yeah.
The surface, here it is, the people we see every day in our life, the people that we meet, the people, they smile at us, they give us love and attention, but are they really just there to bring us into their den of horror?
Yeah.
That basically is what this film is about here, and it's so disturbing and so well done.
Yeah.
It's 2 hours and 27 minutes long, as we've said and we've mentioned, but I don't know if I could knock a fucking minute off of this film.
No, it was pretty tight.
It was very tight.
And the fact that it's extra disturbing is how just calm and everyday it is for all these people in this
Well,
community.
that's the true horror of it.
That's part of their
That's the
society. That's
brilliance.
normal. Oh, that's just what you have to do, darling. That's what you have to.
I gotta
that's
hand
part
it.
of it.
I hand it to the director.
Very well done.
This film is so brilliant it just goes above and beyond. I will watch it again, but not for a year. I'm waiting a year on this. I have no desire to see this again. It's just too disturbing. There is a. I'm going to say this. I started to say this, but there were quite a few women, young women, in the audience.
In the theater, okay.
I was rather surprised.
There's your buddy, Will Poulter.
Yeah, I know, from Detroit. Oh, I can't stand this guy. But I liked him in this film.
Yeah.
He plays a jerk, as he always does.
Generally does.
If you had a sour puss like him, you'd always play the jerk.
And then he was also kind of a weirdo in that movie with Domhnall Gleeson, where he saw disfigured. He came back from the war.
Oh yeah.
The movie, the horror with the house.
That was the little.
Okay.
That was the little.
The Little Stranger.
The Little Stranger.
That wasn't bad.
I love that little film.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great little movie. And it was good to see.
This could be a long shot for an Oscar nomination, Best Actress. I feel like it's not seen enough, but it's got the chops for it.
It's got the chops.
It'll be overlooked most likely.
Got the chops. It really does.
Maybe a Globe. Screen Actors Guild, maybe.
Gosh, I almost see it being nominated for a Best Picture thing, but
I think it's too much for the Academy.
it's a little too much. But in the terms of
Screen Actors Guild, though, that's
horror
different.
Film, I think it's a far better film than Hereditary. Hereditary was
so,
just
too.
too off the wall and too banging and
I
this
know.
and that, and it tried to cram too much into.
I feel like Hereditary was a movie that was like, okay, let me do this crazy movie, to get people's attention, so I can do the film I really want to do, And he wrote this film after a bad breakup, and he's like, this is a breakup movie. Yeah, so
interesting.
that was his. That's, I guess, how it all started.
At the end of Hereditary, however, and no spoiler here, it kind of had become a cult film.
It had.
There
I
was
know
a
what you're
cult.
saying. Yeah.
We have people sitting there naked in an attic.
Yeah.
And we almost take that to. This was supposedly filmed in Sweden. I don't believe it for a moment, because Sweden is just loaded with magnificent mountains everywhere. I'll bet this is down in North Carolina or something.
No, I read that it was in Europe. It was in. It wasn't all Sweden. It was another country it was filmed in. I forget.
Here's one of the fish baiters here.
Yeah, well, that's the friend.
That's the friend
from Sweden.
Well, no, he's from back in the States.
No, but
he's from Sweden.
That's
He's
what
the
I'm
one
saying.
that brings them.
That's what I'm
to
saying. He's their friend from Sweden.
This entire horror show.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a very
quite
effective film.
Magnificent.
It's
movie.
definitely worth seeing. It's a shame
Cannot
it's not going to be around too much longer, but it'll be on video soon. You can watch it at home. It's not going to be in theaters too much
I do want to mention one little thing. It seemed to me, I got not much time.
Well, we only have a few minutes left, so.
Okay, what time we got?
Well, it's 8:40.
Okay, so
20
we got
minutes.
another 20 minutes or so.
Roughly.
And we're almost done.
Yeah.
But it was kind of interesting. There were so many young women in the audience, and every one of them, there is a sex scene later on.
I know, yeah.
And the sex scene is a ritual sex scene.
Ritualistic.
It is a little shocking, I would say, due to the nudity that prevails in this.
I know.
We have a room full of people that are naked, that want this sexual act and impregnation to happen.
Exactly.
So, but there's a scene where a woman, and this is no giveaway, but a woman, as part of the ritual of these women that are surrounding this couple copulating right in front of you there, and suddenly she goes up and she starts pushing the buttocks.
Helping the thrust.
Of this, and I swear the women in that audience, all I heard was like 10, 20 nuns just going, It was hilarious. It was like all in unison. It was
funny.
It was quite hilarious. This is such a crazy movie.
It is.
And
I'm very interested to see what this director does next. He's a very interesting
awesome
director.
As hell. This guy is a genius.
He's young, 30s, I think.
He's a genius. He's up there with a Villeneuve for me.
Yeah.
He really is. He just has that you don't know what's coming. You don't know where you're going. I love the unpredictability of everything he does. Even Hereditary was unpredictable.
Yeah. No, it was, and there was some good qualities in Hereditary. I liked the film.
Yeah, it just.
But
was,
I just felt
it wasn't well thought out to make a coherent, concrete piece of work.
And
like
again,
this.
that was an overhyped film. Had it not been for the hype ahead of time, I might have had a different expectation.
I've seen that film twice now, and I can't say I really enjoyed it more the second time, but I noticed the things that are horrifying in the film. You see them more a little bit more.
I'd watch it again in a
it's
year.
worth seeing.
You're right. I don't know if I'm going to watch this anytime soon again.
I don't know if I can watch
Very
this.
unsettling.
It's so unpleasant.
It is.
And so horribly, just it gets into your gut and all the fear that we have in our lives of things being out of our control and things that, there's a lot of drugging going on.
And there's an element of disemboweling and puppeteering with people's body parts and wicker, and things are being ingrained into baskets and
Yeah,
weird
but
shit.
that's
hay and
that's
straw.
the real horror part.
No, but I'm saying that stuff to me is unsettling. That kind of horror is unsettling. There's something just disturbing about you're treating a human body as just it's just
art.
It's art. Yeah, we're
it's
just
horror
tearing
art.
it apart and we're just doing
Yeah.
it's just creepy.
But it was
Not for everybody.
I like the fact that
Beautiful
I wish you could
design.
freeze this.
Could.
We have people on. They're living in this. These are the beds.
Yeah.
Has a Jim Jones kind of feel
Yeah.
to it. And there are scenes. We have one of the first things we see when they get to this place. They're given a specific herb to drink or smoke.
Yes.
And they become high right away.
Yeah.
So that already our senses are being tampered with.
Mm-hmm.
And we, the audience, too, because we're living what they're kind of living.
Yeah.
But one of the first things we see is a bear in a cage, in a very small cage.
Yeah, that's right.
We
Yeah,
see this
yeah.
bear, and he's just in there. And later on, in this particular room, we see a painting of a bear in flames, which does not occur in the film, I'm happy to say. But
there is an element of that that's a foreshadowing. There is an
Correct.
element of that.
There's a constant foreshadowing of death.
Yes.
And just everywhere they look.
Yeah.
There's pictures of people with
It's telling a story.
It's telling a story.
Yeah.
And oh God,
Yeah.
it's
A lot of thought went into the design and to tell this story with visuals that are not 100% obvious. They're there, but you notice it, but you don't really notice it right away.
Yeah.
A lot of this, just pausing this alone is like, okay, we can learn so much just from this little thing, and start thinking about how many of those moments give you something later on. Is it a foreshadowing for something
well, not
else?
in this particular.
No, but
not
I'm
in this
sure there's other
particular,
elements
but-
here that we
but
can
throughout
pull
the
from.
film. We see
You know?
little elements where
It's
they'll just be
fascinating.
staring at a wall, and then
Yeah.
you'll see something, and you'll go, "Whoa, Jesus! They're telling us right
I
there
know.
that this is not all what it appears and what it seems, and that there is a foreshadowing of very severe doom to come, and it comes.
Yeah.
And it's I mean. It's like waiting for the Charles Manson moment
I know.
in Quentin's movie,
Exactly.
and it never comes.
Yeah.
It never comes where it's replaced. And in this film, it comes. And this film affected me 100 times more than I love Quentin, I love Brad, I love Leo, I love the little camaraderie, and it's almost like that's what they were selling in Once Upon a Time. You're buying the package.
I know, yeah.
You're buying the package of these three people that we adore and we love, and they're all part of our lives, and the music is good and this and that. This is just a downright. This is a film
Yeah.
that affects you. You will never forget it for the rest of
That's
your
true.
life. I don't know if I wish I could.
Well, that's why I kept telling you to go see it. I didn't want you to miss this
Oh,
one.
I'm so glad that you made me go see
Yeah.
this because I
knew how you react to it.
I really wanted to blow it off.
I know you did.
It's 2.5 hours. I just thought, do I want? I know kind of. You have this foreshadowing element that's just in the photograph.
I know.
Just in the first. You can move on here.
Yeah. Well, we should move on in general because
should move on.
we got two other films to do.
Yeah. Okay.
But no, I mean, we really can't say enough about Hereditary. If you like horror,
stop saying
it's a film.
Hereditary.
God damn it!
Midsommar.
Why do I keep saying Hereditary? If you like horror,
Because the
you're gonna
same
want to
director
see.
did it.
I know, but it's just weird.
It's called
my mind forgets
Midsommar.
Midsommar.
It's like
Yeah.
it's just a ritualistic
Yeah.
time of year where it's out with the old and in with the new,
Yes.
and then out with the new and in with the newer,
Exactly.
and blah 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 blah, and it goes on and goes on,
It does.
and it is a knife.
It
It
is.
is a knife in the chest.
It will
this
kick
film.
you and
It
knock
will
you down.
kick you. Yeah, it really will. And I just, as I say, and for one more time, I just love the surreality of this film, the
agree.
surrealism of this movie.
There it is.
Just kept me going. It keeps you going on not only here she is. It keeps you going not only on just the visceral level, the level that affects you as a human being sitting there watching the film, but visually. It sucks you in. It's so well made. This film.
It is.
It blows my mind how
Yeah.
beautifully.
This guy has a really big
He
career.
just
Ari
has
Aster, big
a
career.
brilliant sense of
He's great.
direction and how to slowly pull you
Yes.
out, pull you into the quicksand. You're not being pulled out of the quicksand; you're being pulled in, and so slowly and so methodically. And then when it's time to leave, I'm going to say this: about 2 hours into this film, I'm thinking to myself, I want to get the hell out of here
I know,
myself.
yeah.
I can't take it anymore.
Yeah.
It was just getting me. You feel it's like being trapped in a coffin and you can't move.
I know.
And there you are, and there's people around you going, I'm going to do horrible things to you,
Yes.
and blah, blah, blah. Let's move on.
Yeah, we got to move on. Well said, well thought. It's great.
Yeah.
All right. We're going to do...
Well, that's all we got. It's the Siren.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Just the Siren.
That's it, dude.
Oh. We'll do... We'll do
do the Siren. And
We'll do
also-
High Life next week because I forgot to put it on here. I totally forgot about High Life. I don't know how I forgot it. It's on my sheet.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry,
That's
guys.
right.
We'll do it next week.
Well, we can mention it.
Well, without the content, it sucks to review a movie
Oh,
without the
that's
content.
a
I'm
big
sorry.
error, man.
I don't know how I forgot to put it
Oh,
on
wait,
here.
stop the show. We could stop the show.
No. Let's just do it. We'll just do it.
We stop the show. We get the pick.
I don't have time. I got to get out of here. I don't have time for that.
What time is it?
I want to get out of here as soon as possible. I have no time to...
What time is
It's
it?
going to take 40 minutes to get the pictures.
No.
Yeah, but we're
What we
wasting...
need is one.
No, we don't. We're wasting time. Let's just do Siren, because it's almost...
All
It's
right.
already almost 9 o'clock.
All right.
The Siren. It's kind of a weird little movie, but what I liked about it is that it's got like a ghostly quality. It's just about this weird spirit, this woman living in the water.
Well,
we don't know if she's not a mermaid, but she can't leave the water.
Well, there's
she's like a trapped
there's
spirit.
kind of a Roman god history to the Sirens.
Yeah.
The Sirens were these three women that would kind of stand, and there's another film, it just came out maybe a year or so ago, has the same kind of premise. But it's like three women, and they're kind of standing out there, and they're screaming, and they lure you with their sex and their everything, and then you're dead. That's what it's about.
Yeah.
So we have this.
I wasn't
woman here.
familiar with that whole
Oh, okay. Well, you can
mythology.
check it out. Oh,
yeah.
sure.
I
They're
believe
in
you.
Jason and the Argonauts.
Yes.
You've got the Sirens.
Okay.
There's also a movie with Elle McPherson called The Sirens.
Oh yeah, with Hugh Grant, right?
With Hugh Grant.
Yeah, okay.
Back from an Australian
yeah,
film.
yeah,
I
okay,
believe,
yeah, I didn't
possibly.
realize that's what that was about. All right.
Same thing, 1987 or 5
Yeah, it's
or
a
something.
late 80s movie, early
exactly.
90s at best.
This is a movie, though, I'll do it.
Very
quick.
self-contained. 3 actors and a lake house.
Yeah.
That's the movie.
Basically,
you know?
yeah. Here we have this guy here, and he's, I believe
He's a mute,
He
which
is a
I
mute.
thought was interesting.
I liked it too.
Yeah,
I
he's
like
got a
the
little bracelet that
characters.
says mute.
Right, I am mute. There it is.
And
right
he's there on some kind of a retreat. He's a very religious guy from a church, and for some reason, which we don't know, they send him to this lake house.
Well, didn't somebody just his wife die?
I didn't get that.
Oh,
If she
okay.
did, I missed it.
Yeah.
But then there's a guy that lives in that area,
Right.
with the big beard.
Right.
He's grieving because allegedly the siren killed his husband.
Killed his husband.
His husband.
Oh,
He's-
correct.
He had
correct.
a relationship with a man.
It's been a while since I saw this film
Yeah.
now, but he's terrific.
He's very good.
I
this
thought
guy.
he was.
He reminds me of John Krasinski a little bit. He's got a look.
I said that
Yeah.
while I'm watching it.
Yeah.
Now here is Our Lady of the Lake. if
She's
you
very good,
will.
too.
I thought she was.
Her name is Margaret Ying Drake.
Okay, I think her character could have been a little more sexual, perhaps.
A little bit. This was a very low. This was very tame.
Yeah.
There wasn't graphic sex.
No, there was
implied
none
more
at
than
all.
anything.
None at all. But I think had she been, had it been more sexual, I think it might have made the story work a
Yeah.
little better. And I don't mean that in a gratuitous way.
No.
I just mean in a more because she's the attraction
Yeah.
of the film. She's a woman. She's out in the lake, and we find out she more or less lives in the lake.
Pretty much.
And why does she live in the lake? And in the meantime, there's plenty of people that are dying in the lake.
Yeah.
And that just get drowned for. And a little love affair strikes up. It's a very intimate movie, no question. As you say, it's really only a 2-character play. The third person is very rarely in it. The guy with the beard.
Yeah,
And
he
he's
kind of
the-
comes and goes.
Well, I believe he gets. Does he? I'm
not
sure.
Well, I don't remember.
I'm not sure if he does or he doesn't.
Yeah, but he is out to get this siren, whatever. He doesn't
Right,
really know what
right,
it is.
right.
He just knows
But
that
there's
somebody in the lake killed his husband.
He
you
wants
know?
revenge.
He wants revenge.
And he knows it's her.
Yeah, and he
knows it's
befriended. He befriends the young
He
man.
befriends our guy right
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
And it's a creepy little film. It kind of it's after seeing Midsommar,
Yeah.
nothing comes.
It's true.
This just fell off the ladder for me because this was kind of cool. When I first saw it,
It's a nice little
recommended
movie.
it to you.
Yeah, you can see the low budget nature of it, which is
absolutely.
fine.
No, it's fine.
But it works as a 3-person
It
story.
does. It does. It's only it's
Yeah.
literally an 80-minute film.
Yeah, it's a very easy
1
watch.
hour and 20 minutes long.
And not a lot happens.
Not a lot happens,
But it still it keeps your interest.
It does, and I've got to say, it's not because of her, although we got the black eye thing going on.
That was
there.
creepy.
That was
Yeah.
creepy, but it's all because of our main guy.
He's good.
He's
He's
the
very
core
good.
of this film. his muteness, just his gentleness. He's just a good soul.
Yeah.
You feel his goodness throughout this whole movie, and I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
I agree.
And there she is. And I thought she was the lesser of the characters. I thought here she almost looks like out of some Chinese horror film, you know,
like Ringu or something, or
Ring 2,
or The Grudge. I know what you're saying.
or The Eye with what's
Yeah.
her name, Jessica, very beautiful young
Alba.
Jessica
Yes.
Alba, yeah. But I like this little film. I mean, for 80 minutes, you can't really go wrong.
Yeah, we've seen a hell of a lot worse.
Yeah, we have indeed. Can I really recommend it? Yeah.
Well, that's the thing.
It's a throwaway little film, but
It
yeah,
is.
I recommend it, and that's why I wanted to bring it to our attention and to your attention.
I think it's worth seeing.
I think so, too.
I'm not going to say anything that was the best movie of the year,
No.
or even a film that I would watch again. But you could watch worse. Check it out. It's it's worth
on
seeing
the opening
once.
title page, it did win, or it was a contestant within the Brooklyn horror film.
Oh, I think it won.
Yeah.
It said that on the
Oh,
poster.
I think it may
I
have
think
won.
it did. Yeah.
But there's a creepiness to it, and creepy
Yeah.
is always good to me.
It's enjoyable.
It's a hard element to maintain in a film. It really is. I mean, very often in horror films, like a Chucky movie or these
Yeah.
throwaway commercial films, there might be a minimal moment of a creepiness that kind of gets into our gut for a minute or two between popcorn and Coke slurps. But there was no popcorn and Coke, by the way, through Midsommar, man. I just sat there.
You know what's funny?
I am still
ate
creeped
popcorn
out.
through that movie.
Did you?
Yeah.
God
And I
bless
don't
you.
always buy popcorn. I did for that movie.
I wish I had now.
Yeah.
It might have sufficed an element of just of dealing with my physical person as just allowing my brain to be sucked into that film as it was. That's a frightening piece of work. You know, if I were Donald Trump or Hitler, perhaps back in his day, I would hire a director like this to make propaganda movies for me, because he has such an incredible element of visual, and he's got it all. That director here, what he has done here, and once again, we can knock off the Siren here.
So you're going back to Ari Aster and
I'm going back to
Midsommar?
Midsommar again, because he.
Well, why don't we we're done with the Siren.
We're
then.
done with the Siren.
Yeah, Siren.
Creepy little movie.
Yeah,
Check it out if you
it's
dare.
worth seeing once.
If you want. If you don't want, then don't. But there are other films out there like Midsommar to
Yeah.
watch. But no, he does it all with Midsommar. That's a very, very difficult, and to maintain it for 2 hours and 29 minutes.
Yeah.
My God. I was just I'm very impressed with this director. I'm
Yeah,
very impressed
he's-
with this film.
he's
Ari Aster,
very-
director of Hereditary. It's only his second film, I believe.
As a feature film,
As a feature
he's
film.
going to have a very good career.
Great career.
I'll be interested to see if he just stays within the horror genre. Will he branch out?
Yeah.
Because a lot of directors, to me, if I were a filmmaker, like on this caliber, I would like to play with different genres. I wouldn't want to just be the horror guy.
Well, this is a different film altogether.
It is, but it's still horror. I would like to
It's
jump through
not
genres.
horror in terms of horror, though. There's various genres of horror. This is a subliminal horror.
It is, but it's still
And
horror.
a true horror. It's not a slasher film for horror's sake. It's not a film that's there to oh, that's frightening. The guy's running around. There's nobody being knifed in this film. I mean, this is not a standard horror film by any
No,
means.
but it's still in the horror genre, just under a different shelf. It's a type of horror film. It's not a drama per se,
I'd
just
almost
drama.
put it as a psychological
It's not a comedy.
I'd almost put it as a psychological thriller. I really.
Yeah, but in the
would.
top of the review, you said this is a horror film, folks.
I did, because I wanted to impress upon that it is in fact a movie that is going to be disturbing.
Yes.
And it is disturbing in a horrifying way. In the horror genre, though, I can't really place it in the horror genre. Like a Halloween or Chucky or the commercial films that we have.
Yeah, but those are the big
represent horror to
mainstream
us.
horror. But there's
Precisely.
horror has many colors.
It's a coat of many colors.
I mean,
said Dolly Parton.
There are, Schindler's List could be a horror. I mean,
Well,
there are elements of dramatic films that could be in the horror category, but we've just put them on the drama shelf.
I would go into
know?
the Schindler's List category then. I would go into that kind of a horror.
Okay.
Into for me, the film of almost the year.
Is this one?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Let's flip back there. We're talking about it now. That to me almost felt at times like a Kubrick film. I felt like it had been rehearsed to hell. You're going to watch it again today.
If I'm going to.
Watch some of those scenes with
Of course I
Leo
will,
and the
yeah.
little girl. I just felt like they probably had done those scenes 20 times, whatever. They felt I didn't feel life in them. I felt as though they were just so over-rehearsed and so overdone. And the dialogue was kind of, although I love Eyes Wide Shut, it's one of my favorite.
I agree. I love that film
I
too.
think it's a great movie.
Me too.
But you look at The Shining, which I think is one of the worst Kubrick films on record for me. I don't like it. It's so rehearsed. Every line out of Scatman Crothers' mouth, even Jack Nicholson can't breathe life into that dead whale because it's just there's so much deadness on the screen. And I mean dead in a horrifying way. I mean dead in just a lifeless way that the screen just kind of...
See, I like The Shining. I think it's a lot of fun. I enjoy
There are
it.
moments that I adore. Stuff where the blood's coming out of the elevator and we're standing
We don't
there
need that.
for 5 minutes.
But-
The two little girls, that's a horrifying image that we relate to that film with. I like kind of the end with Jack running through the thing there, frozen to death. But that film to me felt very over-rehearsed. Just everything about it. And I felt that a little bit with Once Upon a
See,
Time.
I'm not sure with Quentin's style if he's one of those directors that rehearses. A lot of directors don't.
No, I
They
agree.
just start shooting and they refine
Yeah.
each take. So I don't know. I mean,
Then
for
we
me,
have Sidney Lumet, who double parks at a whorehouse, as Paul Newman used to say. One take Sidney, one
He's
take,
amazing.
One
One
take
take.
Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood's a
Same
one take
thing.
a lot of times.
That's it. Woody Allen.
rehearse for weeks.
Woody Allen. Do it. It's done. I don't need it anymore. Is there
Yeah.
anything you want to tell me? Says Woody.
Yeah.
Anything you want to tell me about? And I'll say, no. Is it okay for you? And then he says, next. And he moves on.
I know.
And I like that. There's a spontaneity there in those kind of films that
Just as an actor, you
Clint.
got to get that one
I
take
like it.
perfect.
I like the one take.
Yeah, it's interesting.
I like the one take.
And then you got, Kubrick, who does a million takes. Fincher is famous for doing a million takes.
I know. That's what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
it's tough. It's that's grueling for an actor. Harvey Keitel walked off Eyes Wide Shut.
I know.
He goes, how many times do I got to walk through a fucking door?
I know.
You know?
Well, Tom Cruise said the same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah.
We're doing the same shit over and over and
It's a
over and
lot.
over and over. And Gary Lockwood, Care Delay, said the same thing. Okay, we're going to run around. But for Kubrick, I think it was more camera than it was the actors.
Well, no, actors did. He wanted it to be exactly how he saw it in his head. Every aspect of the film.
Yeah.
He had to get it the way he wanted.
But he wouldn't tell the
He
actors.
was not a compromiser.
He wouldn't tell the actors to give it more or give it less. He would
Yes,
just film it over and over.
until
and
he
over.
felt like he got it. Yeah.
Until he just was Barry Lyndon.
Breaks
I heard
them
was
down,
a horrifying thing.
He destroyed.
And
What's
he-
your name? Shelley Duvall was almost destroyed while making The Shining. He had to put him through hell to get that performance.
Barry Lyndon, same thing. Of course, he did the whole thing in natural lighting. So I
Yeah,
mean, that had
that's
to be
amazing.
a bitch to do.
I'm sure.
That had to be very difficult.
Revenant too, natural lighting.
Who?
The Revenant. That was also all
was it?
natural lighting.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, pretty impressive.
What has that director done since?
He just did. He did something else since The Revenant. What the hell did he do? I don't remember. I have to look it up.
Well, we'll tell you next week.
We'll tell you
folks.
next week.
What do we got coming next week?
Next week, yes, we got coming up. We have opening next week.
Well, you also had New Home.
Yeah. Well, we'll do this real
here's
quick
Hobbs and
first.
Shaw.
We have Hobbs and Shaw
this
coming
is
out.
the Fast and Furious.
Fast and
film.
Furious
Okay,
spinoff.
Gotcha.
The
Who's
first.
this girl right here?
I forget her name. She's somebody of prominence, but I don't know.
Okay.
Something called The Nightingale, which looks kind of cool.
Oh, right.
Director of the Babadook.
Babadook.
That piqued my interest.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, it could be good.
I will see that.
Yeah,
film.
that sounds great. Nightingale, keep an eye for that.
Is that in theaters?
Yeah, but it's probably limited.
Okay.
Something called Loose with Tim Roth, Octavia Spencer, and
Maybe.
Naomi Watts.
Oh, wow.
Could be interesting.
Interesting.
And that, again, a lot of this is going to be small releases. This looks interesting. Them That Follow.
Oh yeah. I've heard.
Yeah.
Well, I saw a preview for this yesterday.
With snakes and
Olivia
stuff.
Colman, of course, our Academy
Yeah.
Award winner.
Yeah, it looks
with,
interesting.
The Favorite.
And then this looks kind of cool. It's Piranhas. It's an Italian film about a bunch of street kids.
Okay.
Could be cool.
Yeah, it
I
looks
don't know much about it, but
standard,
it looks interesting.
It looks like it is a Spanish film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I think it's Italian.
All right. Interesting.
And then we have fresh on video this week. Just a couple things. We have Brian De Palma's latest Domino with Nicolai
I didn't know that was a Brian De Palma film.
Yeah, it's De Palma. That's the only reason I'm really interested.
Jamie Lannister,
Guy Pearce,
right here. Guy Pearce. I
so it
know.
could be good.
And Clarice Van Houten,
Yeah.
who played the Red Witch.
Yes,
in
on
Game of Thrones. Also,
We have Long Shot fresh on video.
I love this movie.
It's a great movie.
It's a great little
A lot
movie.
of fun.
It's a thriller. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
It's everything. I love
And then
it.
The Intruder, which I enjoyed.
Did
It's
you?
a guilty pleasure. I think you should watch it. We can talk about it.
All right.
It's
all
a
right.
fun.
And this guy,
He's in everything.
He's in something new now too.
Yeah, he's got something else coming out.
He's got another biggie
Yeah.
coming coming out. I just saw him yesterday in a preview.
Yeah, I agree. But you know, the intruder doesn't pretend to be anything it's not.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Brian De Palma is semi-brain damaged now. I mean, there's no.
Yeah, he's lost his luster.
Well, he's lost his
I
power.
know.
He's lost his whole sense of style.
Yeah.
Now he's just, you know, he's just sitting there. You know, I think they just put a chip in his head, and you know.
He said he's writing a.
Direct of. I mean,
He's apparently his next movie. He's writing and directing a film inspired by Harvey Weinstein called The Predator or something.
Oh, terrific!
Who knows?
Well,
but that's it, guys. We're gonna see you guys next week with some more stuff, and most likely Hobbs and Shaw, and who knows what else we're gonna do. We might do a theme show.
Yeah.
We might not. We are probably going to be down in Secaucus.
I do want you all to
at the
pay
studio.
big note. There is a character coming to you soon. His name is Biggie D. He's a rapper.
Yes.
He's going to be doing some rapping for you.
Very nice.
And he's.
I'm looking forward to meeting this guy.
I am too.
Yeah.
I am too. I think he's going to be kind of interesting.
Cool.
Hopefully we'll be in Secaucus next week. We're going to do our show with the green screen.
Yeah,
and,
we're hoping that's
should
going to be next
kind
week.
of cool and fun. And
so stay tuned.
hopefully we shall see if they get their green screen together.
Up and running.
So, all right. Good night,
Have a good night, guys.
Take
See
care.
you soon.
Chloe, where are you?
Road. Yeah, we're going down. Yeah, Mr. Let's